Hi everybody, I'm coming to you today to show you how I do my new set of nails. I am going to be using dual forms again today. I completely ran out of time last night, so I couldn't do them last night, and I've got to go to work this afternoon, so I've got to get it done very quickly, so I'm going to be using the dual forms. I had a couple of people ask me more questions about the dual forms, so I figured, I can answer those questions real quick as well. But let me show you. I've already got my dual forms lined up. Excuse me. I've got them lined up and I've got the tips marked as far as where the tip is going to end. So once you line it up, the black mark is going to be right on my tip. Okay. Real quick, some of the questions about these dual forms, okay, it's just like a plastic piece that has these like little tippy thingies on it at the end there. Can you see that? Okay. Excuse me. The dual forms, it's just a bendable plastic, okay, so it does bend, okay. But these are like designed to where you could put your acrylic and your UV inside of them, and once the acrylic dries or you put your finger underneath the UV lamp, it releases off the plastic, okay. We all know sometimes when you put acrylic on certain stuff, the acrylic stays on the product and it doesn't come off unless you soak it off. But these are especially designed to where they will pop off the acrylic very easily. And once it does pop off, it leaves the acrylic with this gorgeous shine. Okay, so there's no need to do any extra buffing or anything like that. All you gotta do is just clean up the edges around the sides and around the tip. Okay, but yeah. I have found that when I need to do a quick set, these work wonderful, okay, but yeah, the mix that I'm going to be using today is a mix that Veronica, nevas13, on YouTube, and her eBay name is Glitzy Glitter Mixes by V. She sent me this iceberg mix, so I'm going to be using that for the tip, and I've already got it mixed up with the acrylic. I did add some of the Creatology glow-in-the-dark in with this. I used the Creatology over the Martha Stewart's because the Creatology glow-in-the-dark has like a purple shimmer to it, and I thought that would work better with this mix because it's got some purples in it. So it doesn't take away from the color of the mix itself. The Martha Stewart's, it's like a, I don't want to say that it's an ugly, bland color, but it's just a dull white, okay? And I didn't want to take away from any of the shimmer that's in this mix because this mix is just gorgeous. So I added the Creatology glow-in-the-dark to it. I'm going to be using my Omega Full Coverage Pink, okay? And of course the Omega liquid with that. And then last night I did cut up these cute little flower fumos. And last night I wasn't sure if I was going to be just doing it on the accent nail or if I was going to be using it on all nails. And this morning I decided that I wanted to do it on all nails. Okay, sorry, I had to take a drink. My throat is getting really, really dry. I really wish I would get over this cold. I've been to the doctor twice, and they've said two different things of what's wrong with me, and sometimes I just don't trust doctors, but anyway, I haven't prepped my nails yet. All I've done is do the tips, okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my dehydrant to my nails, and sorry if you hear the cars go by. I do have to do my nails outside because my father claims he is allergic to the smell of this stuff. Some people are, but if anybody knew my father, he claims he's allergic to everything. So I do my nails outside out of respect for him. So let me just add the dehydrant to my nails real quick. And when you add your dehydrant, you want to make sure that you don't get it on any of the skin, just the natural nail. And the thumb. Okay. And then once that dries, it don't take long, I'll come in with my primer. And I like to do 2 coats of primer. Once again, you don't want to get it on the skin, just on the natural nail. Okay. So we'll come through with coat number 1. And then we'll come back on this hand. And then I'm going to go back through and do a second coat because the first one's probably already dried. Oop. Sorry, that one was done way out of camera. Now, I have had a couple of people ask me what kind of camera I use, and mine is a JVC camera. I'm not exactly sure of what model it is, but it's a JVC. Okay. So there is my primer. Okay. Now, when I start to do my dual forms, okay, I'll start with the smallest one and work my way up. Okay. For some reason, my lid's not coming off my brush. There it goes. Okay. Now, like I said, I've marked where my tip ends. Okay. And I want to put my flower like right in the center of where the tip color is going to be. So I'm going to dip my brush into the liquid, get all the air bubbles out, and then I'm going to come in with a small bead of the clear. Okay, it's probably too much clear. Try to take some of that out. And then I'm going to come in with my Fimo. Place my Fimo right inside. Okay, and then I'll let that set for a minute. Okay, so that when you're looking at the nails, you'll see the Fimo. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with the tip mix. Okay. Now, one of the things that you need to remember about the dual forms, you don't want to put too much mix inside of them. Okay, it's definitely an art. You don't want to put too much because then it won't sit on the nail very well. Okay, and then you don't want to put not enough because then it'll form air pockets. So it's definitely an art and practice. Okay, but with these, the acrylic likes to settle in the center, so you've got to constantly push it up to the sides until it starts to set, and then come in, form your smile line. Okay. Once it starts to set, it'll stay up on the sides a lot easier. I'm just trying to clean up around the line so I know that's where the tip is supposed to be. Okay. Add a little bit more. It looks kind of thin. Okay. Okay. And once I get it where I want it, okay. Now, I have also learned that when you're using these, you can't go straight into the pink and put it on the nail, because then it like bleeds together. Okay, so I'm going to set that one down just for a moment while I go on to the next one. And once again, I'm going to come in with a small bead of the clear, and then I'm going to pick up one of my Fimo pieces. So, okay, so this one's going to have 2. Okay, so put those on there, and these are going the opposite direction so that when you're looking at them, they're going to be upside down. But that's okay. So I'm going to let that set for a minute. And then I'm going to come in with my glitter mix. And fill in the tip area. Pushing it where I want it to go. Now, one of the bad things about using the dual forms is when you have pretty stuff in a mix like this, like the Mylar, it tends to want to come to the top of where you're working. So like this is actually going to end up being the underside of the nail, not the top of the nail. So it's going to be very, very difficult to see it. But I'm just trying to clean up the smile line now. Okay. Pushing it down to where it's with the black line. Okay, so now I'm going to set this one to sit and set for a minute. And I'm going to come back to the pinky. Okay, now I'm going to fill the pinky with the pink. Okay, and I'm going to just place the bead in there and fill it in. Okay, and remember to make sure that you make it meet with the glitter tip, otherwise you will create like a little line. Okay, and this is where I just tap in the pink across, not too thick, just across the glitter tip, just to make sure that it's going to hold when I put it on. Okay, and once again, you don't want to fill it too much, but you also don't want to fill it with not enough, because then you'll create air pockets. Okay, but once you've got it full, you flip it over. Okay, and then you're going to come in, place it on the nail, and press down. And as you can see, I've got some that's coming out the sides. That means I put too much. Just take your cuticle pusher, come in, and scrape that off. Okay, and I have some on this side, so I'm going to scrape that off. Okay, and then you just want to hold the base of the dual form, not the tip, just the base. And you want to hold that depending on really the temperature that you're working in. Like I'm outside, and I live in Florida, so it's a little bit warmer, so I really don't need to hold it that long. But if you're working in like the house and it's a little bit colder, it'll take a little bit longer for the acrylic to set, so you'll probably have to hold it a little bit longer. I just come in to make sure that there's nothing up underneath the nail. Okay, and that should be about ready. When you're checking to see if it's ready to be let go, You just check to see if there's any air pockets forming. There's still a little bit on this side. Let me grab that. A motorcycle just went by. Okay. So then that one, there's no air pockets. Okay. So now I'm going to come in with my next one. And once again, I'm going to fill it up with the pink. Making sure that I get around the where the two will meet to make sure that there's no air pockets. And then I'm just going to fill it in. Add a little bit on top of the glitter to make sure that it all seals in together as one piece. Okay, and then once again flip it over and place it on the nail and hold it. Okay, and this one I don't see any coming out the sides, so I should be okay. There is some up underneath here a little bit, so I'm just going to scrape that. Okay, and then just hold that for a few minutes until it sets up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to continue to go on and do the rest of the nails, and I will be back in a few moments. Okay, I'm sorry, I completely forgot to record me popping off the dual forms. My mother came out here and she was talking to me, and I just popped them off without realizing it. But this is the finished project. Okay, I am out in the sun so that way you guys can see them nice and pretty. I absolutely love it. So there you are. Thank you so much, Veronica. I absolutely love your mix. Love it. Absolutely. So, guys, go check her out. She makes some beautiful mixes. Thanks for watching. Bye.